Hey everyone, Coach Hoy back here again, and today I want to talk about self control and discipline. Okay, so you may not know this, but I've got several kids, and I have two sons that play travel lacrosse. And um, as I do with anything, with any sport, when I'm with the teams, with the players, I like to observe not just their team, but I like to observe probably more than their team. I like to observe all the other teams that are there, right? So it's an opportunity to, as a coach, mental and physical, performance side, just to look at everything that's going on and watching these kids from, fourth grade all the way through high school and see the differences not only in the teams but in the individuals and how they handle certain things, right? Are they doing any kind of mental performance routines before the game? Is what is the coach addressing? What is their culture like? How are they handling setbacks? How is the coach dealing with that, right? If they're down early, they're down 3 goals, early in the game, and they're losing the face off, and how is the individual handling losing that, right? And then what is the coach's energy? What is his mindset? How is he addressing the team and the players at different ages? Are they mature enough to handle some of the stuff he's saying? Are they not, right? Is it all negative? Is it kind of for lack of a better term, is it kind of cancerous and it's spreading throughout the team? The negative energy, negative thoughts, emotions. Does the coach have self control and discipline, or is he kind of spewing that out all over the team? And then it kind of creates a dumpster fire as a culture, right? So now it just kind of creates a lot of bad things that it's hard for younger kids to overcome, and a lot of them don't in the competition phase, right? So again, when they're younger, we're working on a lot of the skill development, the athlete development side, and they're just learning how to compete a little bit. And so when I look at this, this past weekend, I did see a lot of players have difficulty overcoming losing possession. So they bad passes, bad not catching it, not winning, not the effort there for the ground balls, and then the teams kind of getting that negative energy. Looking at the body language, how they're responding to that. And I know there's a lot of different skill sets we can talk about. The E plus R equals O, and then there's reflect. A lot of reflection and learning going on for each one of these players and teams, and some there's none. They just kind of hold on to that grudge, and it just kind of sits in there and stews. So one of the strategies that I like to use is good for any coach or any team is just flush it, move on to the next best thing, right? Next best decision, flush it and on to the next, right? And what that means is if you look at any one of these bad decisions or mistakes, so they're not winning the face off, they are making the bad passes, they're doing turnovers, they're throwing the ball out of bounds, the goalie lets up a goal, soft goal, whatever. And anything that isn't going the way, maybe they're not resting between games and they're running around like kids do, right? They're not able to focus and they're playing. I don't know, whatever it is, you got to get them back on track, right? So to do that, imagine all these decisions are bricks. Okay, they're all bricks, and they're heavy bricks. And every time they make a bad decision, every time it loses that, or a negative thought enters the mind, and an emotion takes over, a negative emotion, and that's a brick. And so every one of those bricks, imagine putting them on you, right? Putting them on your equipment, or you're hanging over you, and you're carrying those around physically. I think that takes its toll, right? You're not going to be performing the same as you were earlier in the game, and that's really what it is. Those are mental bricks that are weighing you down as your game goes on. So you got to learn to flush it. Flush it. You made a mistake. Okay, you made a mistake. Learn from it. Recognize it. Learn from it. Okay, there's another skill set later on that I'll talk about in another episode. It's recognize, release, and refocus. Ties these together, but let's say, all right, I made a mistake. Okay, I made a mistake. I'm going to learn from it, but I'm flushing it because I need to refocus. I need to get back into and stay in tune with what my goal is here and what the team goal is in the culture and how we're going to move forward. Okay, so flush it, and move on to the next best decision. I got to get back out there. I got to do the face off again, or hey, the game stops momentarily, but I'm still in net. I'm still playing. I got to one shot at a time. I got to focus on one shot at a time, but it starts with flushing it. You got to flush that. Dan can't hold on to those bricks. Those bricks will weigh you down. They will get in the way. They'll affect the team because now you're asking the team. You're passing some of that burden on to your teammates. They're now carrying some of your bricks too. So every time that you burden them and put a negative thought in their mind, a negative thought, negative energy, negative vibe, bad body language, all that, they're carrying bricks too. It will affect the total performance of the team. Okay, so from a self-control and discipline standpoint, to stay on target, on task, and stay focused, you've got to flush that. Okay? So reflect and learn from your actions and your thoughts. Flush it, and then make the next best decision. All right? And in a future episode, I'm going to talk about recognize, release, and refocus, how they tie together. They're both in the self-control and discipline category. Great skill sets from a coach perspective. Okay? If the coach recognizes this is going on, get the kid to flush it. Flush it, move on. Flush it, move on. Flush it, move on. Okay? So practice that, work on it. And until next time, keep moving forward.